Okay. So today our concept is strings. Very very important and very very interesting. Okay, strings. So what is meant by string? It is a data type, and you should respond. Okay. So string is a data type, and also string is a class because the first letter is starting with the capital letter. Everybody are able to listen my voice or any breaking? Guys, is it audible? Hello?
Yes, now you are audible. Your
Okay.
voice is correct.
So strings are nothing but string is a data type and also a class. Okay. Why I am saying it as a class? Because the string first letter is starting with the capital letter. See in Java, if we want to define an integer, we can use int a equal to 10. If we want to define a float, we will define double d is small letter like that. But if we want to define a string, always we are defining with a capital letter. Okay, string like this only we are going to define, right? Correct. So why string is a class? Why the Java people make string as a class? And string is a class, that too which type of class? It's an immutable class. It's an immutable class. Okay. String is an immutable class. Why strings are immutable in Java? Very, very important interview question. It's very, very important in every interview. In every interview, they will ask why string is immutable. Why Java people make string as immutable. What is the meaning of immutable? What is meant by immutability? Anybody in this class? What's the meaning of immutability?
Changing.
No, we cannot change. That is called as
Uh,
immutable.
we cannot change. Yeah.
Mutable is called as changing.
Changing.
Immutable is without, we cannot modify. Immutability means we cannot modify. That is called as immutability. Mutable means we can change. Why Java people make string as immutable? Because in Java, the continuous flow of data from one end to the another end. For example, if you want to retrieve a data from the client side, if you want to retrieve a data from client to the server. So assume this is client, okay, and this is a server. Okay. So if you want to request any data from client to the server, and if you want to get the data response back from the server to the client, everything is in the form of strings only. Strings. If you give integer, double, anything, but the Java will be indirectly converting into strings, and then it will send the data from one end to the another end, so that they make it as immutable. Immutability means we cannot modify. See, if the request whatever you are giving is sending from client to the server, in between this traffic, if it was changed by some other persons, by any third party, by some any hackers, okay, if it will be changed, if it will be modified, then it will be a big crime, right? So mutability is a crime, like a continuous changing of data is not good. That is a crime. So that the Java people have created the strings as immutable objects. The strings as immutable objects. How they make a string as immutability? How we cannot modify a class? Means like if you declare a class as final, if you declare a class as final, then automatically the class became a immutable class. How to declare a class as final? If we give a final keyword before the class, then the class became an immutable class. See, like this class became an immutable class. This is one. We have to do three more steps, but this is the first step in order to make a class as immutable. What is the meaning of final? Final is, if you define a class as final, then we cannot change. Final, the meaning of final is constant. Constant. We cannot change it. Okay. So string is by default, it's a final class. Okay, because they have make a string as immutability. If a class needs an immutable character, then we have to make the class as final. Here, that is one concept. Another one is strings are by default synchronized. What is meant by synchronization? Strings are by default synchronized. Second point is strings are by default synchronized. What is meant by synchronization? This is a concept in the threads. Synchronization is like for example, one thread is acting on an object. Like this, I will tell you. See, these are these are two objects. This is one object and this is one object. Okay, so here thread one is acting here. Okay, so thread, this is one, sorry, only one object is there. See, only one object is thread. So thread one is acting on it. Thread one is acting on it. So this is T1. Okay, so again thread 2 also want to act on it. Thread 2, one more object is also thread 2 is there. This is also want to act on it, because this is also want to access this object. Access this object. If this object is a non-synchronized object, if this object is a non-synchronized object, then multiple threads can come and access. This is correct. If it is a non-synchronized object, then this concept is correct. Okay. But if it is a synchronized object, if it is a synchronized object, if it is a if it is a synchronized object, then multiple threads cannot access at a time. Only one thread can access at a time. Okay. If one, until unless thread 1 will finish its work, then only the thread 2 will come and access. Until unless the thread 1 finished its work, it does not allow thread 2 to come and access this object. It will lock it. Clear this concept? Clear everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
See, for example, I am in a room. Okay, I am doing some work. I locked my room. Okay, someone will come and knocking the door. I will not open until unless I complete my work, then only I will open. I will not allow other persons to enter into that room. Okay. So once I completed my work, then I open my door, then the other person can enter into that room. That is called as synchronization. Multiple persons cannot enter into the room. Only one by one can only enter into the room. Once I completed my work, I will open the door, then I will come out, then the other person will come enter into the room. That is called as synchronization. Only accessing that object, only one person at a time. It will not allow multiple persons to be access that object at a time. Threads are nothing but tasks. Thread is nothing but a task. So multiple tasks can be allowed if the object is a non-synchronized object. Only one task can be allowed at a time if an object is a synchronized object. Clear? Now the example is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So by default, the strings are synchronized objects. By default, the strings are synchronized objects. And strings are also having caching. Strings are also having caching. For example, see, for example, this is one object. This is one object. Okay. And and I was giving one request. This is one to client and server. Okay, so here this is a client and one I have given one request. Okay, and this is client. This is client. Okay, and this is server. Okay, I have given one request. For example, I am retrieving some data. I am retrieving some data in the server side. What data I am requesting in Amazon. Okay, you are searching some details in the Amazon, like some any earphones or any shoes or any dress, anything, any item you are searching. Okay, so for example, I am searching earphones in the Amazon website. Okay, so the client searched one time. Okay, so this is one time. This is one time. First time. So if the client want, if we will search so many items right in Amazon. The second time he was searched with another item which is called as any shoes like that. Shoes. Okay, this is second request sent by the client. Client are nothing but we. We are clients. We are customers. We only will search. Okay. Now the customer, the client will change his mind and again he want to buy the earphones. Previous request. Okay, he was searching something. First one is earphones. Then he thought that, oh, no, I will search and I will buy another one, shoes. Okay, he will search for shoes. Then again he changed his mind, like, okay, I have some shoes, these are very costly, so now I will go for the earphones. He changed his mind. Then what the client will do again? What the client will do again? He will search for, guys, you should respond, otherwise I will exit from this class. Are you following what the client will do the second time? You are able to listen my voice or not? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Then why no one is talking? This concept is not, you are not getting this concept? Is it difficult? I am giving the live examples.
Please repeat again, ma'am.
How many members are? 10 members are there, only one girl is responding. Remaining all sleeping? I told this is very important concept in every interview. Without the question on strings, they won't leave you.
Yeah, ma'am. Once again, repeat that concept, ma'am.
Why strings are immutable? Why they make strings are immutable? What is the first point? Tell me. Why strings are immutable? Why there are having
Due to
three reasons to make the strings as immutable. Why? First reason is what? Come on, tell me. Now I will understand whether you are listening or you are somewhere. Why strings are immutable? What is the first point? If you say wrong, also no problem. Respond, please. Why strings are immutable? Say wrong answers, no problem. What? Why strings are immutable? The answers is on the screen. I am sharing the notepad. Hmm? Strings are immutable because in Java, everything can be transferred from client to the server is in the form of strings only. If strings are mutable objects, nothing but always changing objects. Mutability means modifying. If strings are modifiable objects, then it's a big crime. So the Java people make the strings are immutable objects. We cannot change. Once you declare, then we cannot change. So that is called as immutability. Why the Java people make immutable? Because in Java, the transfer of data from a client and a server is only in the form of strings. If you give integer value also, that will convert it into string only internally. So they have made strings as immutable. How they became immutable? Because they have made that string class as final. What is meant by final? If you define one time, then we cannot change. Final is nothing but constant. That is first point. Second point is what? Strings are synchronized. What is meant by synchronization? I told you. Only
Multiple can.
accessing only one object at a time. It will not access multiple objects at a time. That is called as synchronization. For example, one object is there. One thread is acting that object, thread 1. Another thread also want to access that object at the same time. Now, if the object is non-synchronized one, then it will allow. The thread 2 also it will allow. If the object is a synchronized one, then it will not allow. It will allow only one thread at a time. I told you, right? The example. If I am in a room, I was doing some task, I locked my room. Someone was knocking, the second person. Once I finished my work and I open the lock, then only I can go out and the other persons can come in. That is called as synchronization, accessing only one object at a time. How it was restricting the other thread not to access, it is locking that object. Okay, that is called as synchronization. What is the third concept? The third concept is caching. The third concept is caching. The third one is caching. 3. What is meant by caching technique? For example, I have given some examples here. Listen carefully. One client is there, one server is there. What is meant by client and server mechanism? Always, you girls are opening Mintra, Meesho, and Ajio, so many websites, and you are searching something and you are adding your items to the cart and you are buying. Amazon, Flipkart, boys are also doing so many online products you are buying, right? What is that? What does it means? It's a web applications, nothing but a client and server communication. Who is client here? Client is you. Who is server? The web page you are accessing, right? That is called as server. Okay, so client is whatever you want to buy, you are searching and then you are buying. Okay, how the communication is communicating internally? They are writing some programming. Okay, developing the web applications. Okay, user friendly. If you want to buy in online e-commerce websites, these are all. Okay, so for example, you open the Amazon. In that, you want to buy some earphones. Client is accessing the earphones. Okay. So he searched that earphones and then he want to buy. Okay. Then he changed his mind and again he want to buy some shoes. Then what he do in Amazon? He will type shoes and then click on the search button. Then shoes are there. Shoes he bought. Shoes he added to the cart. But at the end, while paying the amount, he thought that okay, the bill was so high, I don't want to buy the shoes. Then he dropped the shoes and again he go for the earphones. Okay. Then again he started searching. Again he started searching. So here what it will do, already already the earphones you are already searched, right? That was there in the caching. So that was there in the caching. That was there in the caching. So whenever you do the repeated searches, it will not go to the database again. It will not go to the database. It will go to the caching. See, for example, guys, please listen. Very, very important and beautiful concept this is. Please concentrate. See, database symbol here. There is no database symbol. Okay. Assume that this is a database. Whenever client requests first time the earphones, okay, so it will directly go to the client was searching, it will directly go to the search. Here he will search. Client is searching what he was searching, earphones. What it will do, the controller, it will go to the database and it will check whether the earphones are there. Ah, it was there. Then it will display on the screen all the earphones. Okay. Then that is one time you have searched. Then you changed your mind. I don't want to buy earphones. Now I want to buy shoes. Then again you searched with earphones, shoes. Then again the controller will go to the database and then it will retrieve shoes from the database and then it will display on the screen. Then you see all the shoes and you find out, okay, these are very costly. I don't want to buy shoes. I want to buy earphones. Okay. Then what you will do again, you will go to search button and again you type earphones. Then now what will happen? You are searched earphones in the first time. Again you are giving the earphones for the second time, which is already searched. You are getting my point, ah? Now the
Yes, ma'am.
controller will not go to the database. In
Yeah.
between the physical layer and the persistence layer, that is the database, there is one technique called as caching. Caching is a technique where whenever the user is repeatedly requesting the same thing, it will reduce the number of trips to the database, which is very costly. Searching the data to the from the database is very expensive, guys. Very expensive. So what it will do, instead of going to the database, it will store the repeated request in a technique called as caching in between. From there, it will retrieve because already you have searched one time earphones that, right? That earphones will store in this caching. For example, in the third time, for example, if you want to search for the third time some any dress, third time you want to go with any dress. Now what will happen? Where it will go? It will go to the cache or the database. The dress, where it will go? It will go to the cache or the database.
Now it will go to
Database.
data.
Correct.
Database, ma'am.
Exactly. Wonderful. It will go to the database because this is first time you are
The first
searching.
time we are searching.
This is first time you are searching. If you want to search another item which is called as, if you want to search for the fourth time, if you want to search some electronic items, mobiles, please mute,
Class.
please mute and talk. See, for the fourth time you are searching mobile, then where it will go?
Database.
Database again.
Because this is the first time you are searching. Now In the
Yes.
fifth time, in the fifth time, you are searching again shoes. Now where it will go?
Cache,
Cache.
cache.
Now it will go cache because already you searched shoes, right? Right.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the concept of caching. So whenever the user requesting the
Repeated.
same repeated requests, then first time only it will go to that database. The second and then the third and the n number of times if you request the same thing, instead of going to the database, it will go to the cache and then it will retrieve the data because number of trips to the database is very expensive logic. Okay, very expensive. Okay, so that is the concept of caching. Now understood caching concept? Clear
Yes.
everybody? Yeah. The strings are having this behavior by default. The strings is having this behavior by default. This is the third reason to make strings as immutable. And the fourth reason is indexing. The fourth reason is indexing. For example, I already told you. In arrays also we are having indexing. If you define a string, for example, how to define a string? String str equal to, if you write hello, then how it will store? It will store in a form of an array like h in the zeroth position, h e l l o, like that it will store. Okay, so here it will store like this: H E L L O, like that it will store. If you give a word also, internally the strings is converting into character. It was converting into character. So what is the first index? Always the first index starts with
0.
0. Good. 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now if I want to retrieve index 1, then what you will get?
E.
E, very good. If I want to retrieve index 4, which value will get?
O.
If you want to retrieve index 3, which value will get? L.
L.
Yes, if you want to retrieve index 0, which value will get?
H.
H.
H. That's it. So the strings are having a concept called as indexing. Indexing, if you having indexing, we can retrieve very fastly with respect to the numbers, with respect to the indexing position. So that is called as strings. So these are all the behaviors the string is having. So that they have made strings are immutable objects. Clear everybody? Clear?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Now Now I will show you the string Java API. See, if you want to have anything more, if you want to learn, go open Java API documentation given by Oracle. So there you are having so many things. These are all called as packages. These are all called as classes. Okay, so if you define, these are all classes, so these are all packages. So strings are in which package? Strings are in by default java.lang package. If you click on this package, what are all the interfaces, what are all the classes are there in that package, what are all the errors, everything will come here. Okay, so now string is a class. So see here, string, see here is there, right? String is there, right? Click on that string. Okay, here the string, now read it. This is Java API documentation. You can learn so many things from this documentation. Now read it. The string classes represent character strings. See what is this string? This is a, see here, how the strings are defined. See this. See here, final. Final is there or not? Final is there or not?
There.
Yes. So string is a final class. So the strings are immutable classes. The strings are immutable classes. See, read it. All string literals Java. It will be defined with double quotes like that. And if you want to see the methods inside a string, see. These are all the constructors. These are all the constructors. One second. Hello. Yes. Yes. Now here, see here. These are all the constructors. I will show you the methods. Yes. So these are all the methods. So caret means at which position you want to get the value. By using caret method you can find. Okay. Compare to means if you want to compare two strings, if you want to contains, if you want to find out whether the element is there or not, if you want to equal any object, these are the methods. Okay, if you want to get any character hash code, index of means if you give any element, if you want to find out that index, this is the thing. Okay, is empty, if the string is empty or not, like that. If you want to join last index, so length, if you want to find out the length, if you want to replace one character with the another character, so these are all the methods. If you want to split the string, then split it with respect to the regular expression. Okay. So these are all the methods which can be given by the string. Right. So here, how many ways we can define a string? We can define a string in two ways. Two ways we can define a string. How to define? First one, string with literal. Literals is nothing but equal to. String str equal to hello. This is one type of declaration. String str equal to hello. This is first type of declaration. Okay. First type. Second type is by using the new operator. String string str equal to new string. Okay, here inside here, if you define something, then this is called as another type of declaration. There are two ways of declaring a string. First is a string declaration with equal to operator. This is equal to is nothing but a literal. The another type of declaration is called as a string declaration with a new operator. You can define a string by using new operator. So this is the second type of declaration. Okay. Shall we see one program?
Yes, ma'am.
Here I am defining one string. String str equal to hello. Okay. And I am also defining string str. This is str1. String str2 equal to new string of hello. These are the two ways of declaring a string. In these two ways you can define a string. So if you want to display str1, then display. If you want to display str2, okay, then display and then run it. You are getting the answers. Hello, hello. For str1 you are define a string with string literal. The str2 also you are defining with string literal, str1 and str2. Okay. Got my point? The how many ways we can define a string? How many ways you can define a string?
Two
In
ways,
two
ma'am.
ways.
What are the two ways?
One is using literals and second one is new operator.
New operator. Now I will show you. If str1 dot equals of str2, then system dot out dot println true. Otherwise, otherwise false. Now what is the answer?
True.
True,
Why?
ma'am.
Why true?
Because str string
If
one is
condition is
equals to string two. Both are hello only.
Okay, good. Now see here. You got the answer true. Now I am writing str1 double equal to str2. Now what is the answer?
true.
True.
True
Why?
only, ma'am.
Why?
If
Again, both
condition
are
is
hello.
Again, both
Again,
are
both
hello,
are
hello.
equal.
Yes, good. Now see the output. What is the output?
False.
False. Why? Why it is false? Hmm? Very, very important interview questions. These are all. Okay. So, now this is false, right? Keep it in mind. Keep it in mind. I will show you one more example. str2 equal to like this. The same thing, but I have removed the new and again str2 also I have declared with hello only. Now tell me what is the answer? What is the answer? True or false?
True, ma'am.
True. Why? I need justification.
Because both are same, ma'am. Hello, hello. There is no new operator in that.
See the output. You got true. Your answer is good, but the explanation is not correct. See, previously the same hello hello also I have taken, but for str1 equal to hello, str2 equal to new string of hello. For the same logic we got the answer as false. But now when I declared two hellos with the same literal but the same business logic is returning true as a output. What is the contradiction behind it? What is the difference behind it? Why for one scenario it is showing false? Why for the another scenario it is showing true? Okay, so very very important concept. This is which is called as string constant pole. We will discuss in the tomorrow's class. Please don't miss tomorrow's class. Very 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 important concept. Okay, I will explain why it was behaving like that. Clear today's class?
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody understood, right? The concept of immutability, caching, indexing, synchronization. Everybody clear? Everybody got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you people go and open the string JPA, like Java API documentation, and open the string class and see all the methods inside it. So you should play with these methods. You have to use these methods. Very, very important methods. Not all methods, but some methods are important. You should use declare one variable and use this method and check whether it was coming or not. Okay. See, if you click on that one, they have given the examples also. E is empty. So see, they have taken one string and don't give anything and just like a str1 dot is empty or not, then it will return true or false. The return value is boolean. Okay, if it is not empty, then it will return false. If it is an empty, then it will return true. Like that. See, read here. Returns true if and only if the length is 0. Returns false, otherwise it is false. If the length is not 0, then it will return the false. So caret, what is this method? Caret is method is a method which will find out the index. For example, caret of. See, for example, if you give caret of 2, then it will return L. Caret of 1, if you give 2, then it will return E. The position, caret, the index position, whatever you have given, that value it will return. Read the methods and then implement it. Very, very. It is not possible to show each and every method in this class. You have to do it. Some methods I will show, some methods you have to practice. Okay? Clear,
Yeah,
everybody?
madam.
Yes.
Yeah, share that what you wrote on like a notepad also. Like better to take a notes.
Notepad.
You notepad, yeah, this one. What you wrote about that strings related. So we can prepare the notes as well.
Notepads. I am sharing the video, right?
Yeah, but it is also helpful to understanding what particular concepts.
You people
Okay.
have to listen and you should take the note. I will not provide any notes. Only video links. This I will provide.
Like these
Notes.
kind of
This is
notes,
like
like this
simply.
notepad. Notes. Yeah,
See, this is simply I have typed. I have typed during the class for better understanding. That's it. This is not a notes. This is just a rough like that I have defined. Notes is like it's a full-fledged notes we have to give, which I am not providing. I will provide only the recording classes.
okay.
If you want to want notes, then while I am explaining, write some
Yeah.
running notes you prepare, and then once it was completed, you go through it, or else you go through the video again. Better one is
Sure. Okay.
concentration on this class. That's it. Don't take notes. Don't go for the video. While I am explaining, concentrate. That is more than enough. And then implement. That's it.
Yeah. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm stopping.